Do you remember this moment?
Yes, I had been dealing with the flu for the past 5 days. I had not hit a tennis ball, and I had come out on the court. I'm defending semifinalists playing Timea Babos.
Yes, you are.
And I fought my tail off to win that first set, and this is just after I lost it in a breaker. And I am so dog-tired that I am desperate to stall by any means.
There we go.
And so I'm also trying to get some potassium, some energy, because I'm dead.
Yeah.
I haven't eaten properly leading into this event. I'd been, sick to my stomach and just congested the whole shot. And so I was trying to get a banana, and they didn't have any bananas on court.
What?
And
come on, Fergus.
Usually, all tournaments do have some sort of fruit or anything. And for whatever reason, they didn't, and they were trying to get me out there to play, and I said, absolutely not.
No.
Like, your court's not prepared, I can't. And I'm trying to scream at Fergus because my voice is gone. So it's not so much that I was really that pissed. It was just, I was like, how do you expect me to do it? And my voice is going like a prepubescent little boy. And,
oh, no.
And, yeah, it definitely got some viral hits. I do remember that. They asked me about it quite a bit in press.
Did they?
Afterwards. And
We are in
the
Australia,
moment, it didn't feel like that big of a deal. And
there we go.
I hate bananas. Like, I really do. I do not like bananas. I'm an apple girl, a green apple. I like my Granny Smiths.
You know what, actually? Here, give me those. Come on.
Okay, yeah, please.
Just get these out of here.
We don't need them. We don't need them. We don't need them.
Off the set.
It's I don't ever want to see a banana again in my life.
I like, too, that you're literally still chewing the banana as you go to serve. Yep. Okay, so how about, should we go to some happier times?
Sure.
Yeah. 2017, you had just beaten Jeannie Bouchard in a really good three-setter.
Yes.
To get into the fourth round
Craig.
to play the defending champ.
Yes,
Angelique Kerber.
I was going out there, and the Bouchard match was really, I think, one of my favorite matches I've ever played.
It was really high quality. I commentated it for radio.
And this one going out against the defending champion, I wasn't afraid. It was probably because I was so tired after the Bouchard match. It was a long three-setter. The shoulder shrug. The reason behind that shoulder shrug was because my team and everyone that's kind of on the outside, not so much my coach and my physio, the kind of outer skirts, the agent, my friends, my family that aren't a part, we're just, hyping up, oh, you're playing #1, defending champ, all this stuff. And so it was kind of just a, no big deal kind of moment. And we were having fun all through this tournament. We were coming up with different celebrations because my physio always said that my celebrations were boring, the tap of the racket, saying thank you to the crowd.
Yeah.
And at that moment in time, the dab was really hot.
It sure was.
And so that's the reason behind the dab at the end. But the shoulder shrug, I was just more like so sick and tired of everyone talking about Kerber and how great she was and, what a privilege it is to be out on court with her. And I was just like, wasn't even that big of a deal. Like, I wanted straight sets pretty comfortably and, hit the dab at the end. There it is.
There it is. Wow, a double dab.
Yeah.
Okay, so your dream run continues in 2017. You go from a Bouchard win to beating Kerber, and then you take on the #7 seed, a Grand Slam champ in Garbiñe Muguruza.
Yes, I absolutely smoked her in this.
Four in love.
Yes, I was really hunting for that bagel set. I remember going out into this match, and usually when you play on a center court, when we were first up, you want the center court time and to get the warm up there so you can get comfortable with your surroundings and everything. And my coach, Craig, came up to me and said, yeah, Muguruza wants to have the court same time, so we're going to be sharing. And I'm not a big fan of sharing courts because I want to hit around and be able to move freely, and you're fighting with the court time. And then all of a sudden Muguruza pulls the plug on taking the court time and moves off somewhere else. So in that moment in time, I was like, oh, I have her. Like, I'm in her head. She doesn't even want to be on the court with me at starting. And that was just my mind frame going in.
Yeah.
It could have been complete BS. I could be making this all up,
but you got the practice time alone.
I had Rod Laver all to myself, but I always loved playing Garbiñe. Oh yeah.
Okay, so you make your first.
Wait.
Of course.
I'm a popcorn lover, so.
Are you?
We gotta partake.
It's pretty good popcorn, by the way.
I'm that extra butter type girl. If you're gonna be bad, be bad.
Of course. Well, I'm right with you. You make the semifinals, and it's not only your first Grand Slam semi, but it's against Venus Williams.
Yes, it was a really exciting moment in my career, things that you dream about. And having been a young American coming up and watching the Williams sisters play, I was definitely looking forward to this matchup to see where I kind of ranked against one of the all-time greats and another American. I end up winning the first set, and that was the first time I thought ahead in the match. I was like, oh my gosh, I could be in a finals of a Grand Slam. And then the rest of it just kind of happened in a bit of a blur. In a losing way. I didn't even see her do all this
Venus
celebration.
was losing it.
That face, it's iconic. I mean, I was so pissed at myself, just like that I thought ahead and wasn't staying in the moment, not so much about, Venus and all that.
Tennis players always talk about staying in the moment, and it sounds like you just had a human moment on court.
Yes, and being that this was my first experience being in the semifinals and playing Venus Williams, it was my first time playing V, and all those emotions of, okay, wow, I get to play a childhood icon and a tennis icon in general was such a pivotal moment for me, and I was able to put that aside for the first set and just play tennis. And that's something that everyone hopes for when you're playing a top player, and especially a legend, because when you do look ahead, you end up beating yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't need, and Venus Williams doesn't need any help to beat anyone. So I definitely
helped her
in my mind, and this one you always want back.
2017 was a huge year for you. It
Correct.
Started here, obviously, but you made the semis at the U.S. Open. I think you made the quarters at Wimbledon.
Correct.
Too. What was clicking for CoCo in 17?
In 17, I'd really made some inroads as far as 2015. I really wasn't scared of them anymore. I'd been to these arenas. I had seen it. I'd been playing a lot of doubles with Martina Hingis at this point in time. And so I had a bit of extra help as far as feeling comfortable in these situations. And I think that's such a key moment for young players, is just getting comfortable on these big stages and big arenas. I had my first great win on Rod Laver Arena, beating Sam Stosur the year before, or 2 years before. And I just never really felt too overwhelmed. I always loved coming to Australia, and I always thought the Australian people enjoyed an underdog story and enjoyed good fight, good sportsmanship. And I always thrived in those moments. And 2017 was capped off by winning Billie Jean King Cup for my country. That was probably the biggest moment of my career. I've always loved playing for my country.
Cool.
I've always wanted to play for my country. My mom's a two-time Olympian, and no matter what sport I played, I wanted to be an Olympian and represent my country, and I thought it was the biggest honor you could possibly ever have. I was able to represent my country in 2016 Olympics, and I always made it a point to play Billie Jean King Cup and sacrifice my season for it. And we ended up beating Belarus in the finals, beating a young Sabalenka and a very boisterous Belarusian fan base. Yep, in Minsk. And it was really fun. 2017 was a year to remember for sure.
You retired officially at the U.S. Open.
Correct.
And now stepping into putting a headset on, coming to the other side of tennis media. What's it been like to be in the booth and to commentate these kind of matches?
I've really have no qualms about retiring. I felt very at peace retiring. I felt very content with my career. Definitely there's things that you want more of, and unfortunately my body could not keep up with the demand of tennis. I got injured pretty badly in 2019 and lost the ability to walk, so I had to relearn how to walk, run, and then figure out how to play tennis again. I just knew at some point that I couldn't train properly to be able to compete with these women, and I got tired of knowing that and stepping out on court and having to go through matches that I thought I should win and become that great player that I once was. And so it stopped being fun, and I always said that if I wasn't having fun playing tennis, I'd hang it up, and it's really hasn't been a problem, hasn't been an issue for me. And I get to see all my friends again. I got to see Ash and her little baby Hayden, and he's a little chunker, but...
Ash Barty.
Yeah, Ash Barty, sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, you guys, am I misremembering your Grand Slam doubles title?
Correct.
Champions together, U.S. Open.
Yep, we won the U.S. Open. We had a lot of drinks out of that trophy. And I went to her charity launch a couple days ago here in Australia. And I gave her a little bit of flack because out of all the trophies she brought to that charity launch, the U.S. Open one was the only one missing. And I said, what's the deal with that?
Gosh.
I mean, I didn't get it. And she said, the only thing we can do with that U.S. Open trophy is fill it with alcohol because it still reeks.
No way.
I was like, okay, I understand. So.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us. Should we do a popcorn cheers?
Right,
That's how we roll here at
absolutely.
Cinema Sessions.
Cheers.
Cheers to you, and thanks for also having a little fun with the bananas, too. We threw that at you.
I don't care. I was going to throw it in my mouth. Oh, good catch.